Before we dive into the episode, I just wanted to let you know that the Moms Behind the Mic Audio Summit is officially open for registration. If you're a mom entrepreneur who wants to launch, grow, or monetize your podcast without overwhelm, this is for you. The event is audio only, packed with expert strategies, and designed to fit into your actual life. You can grab your free ticket by going to momsbehindthemic.com, and I'll see you there. If you've been podcasting for 6 months or maybe even a year and you're thinking, why is nothing happening? No clients, no sales, barely any downloads. I need you to hear this before you decide to quit. Let's jump in. Welcome to Podcasting for Moms, the show for moms in business ready to start, grow, and scale a podcast that turns their listeners into buyers. I'm Jenny Sonesson, a podcast strategist and fellow mom entrepreneur. You're in the right place if you want to learn how to start and grow a podcast that attracts your ideal clients and really does the heavy lifting for you when it comes to selling your offers, all while balancing life as a busy mom. Are you ready to create a podcast that grows your income, impact, and influence? Let's make podcasting work for you, because as moms, we know how to get things done. All right, let's jump into the episode. Hey, and welcome back to Podcasting for Moms, the place for mom entrepreneurs who want to build profitable, sustainable, lead-generating podcasts in part-time hours. In today's episode, well, it might sting a little bit, but it might also save your podcast. So let's get into it, shall we? All right, so if you've been podcasting for 6+ months and you're not seeing any results, let me lovingly say this. Your podcast probably isn't the problem, but your strategy might be. And I say that with so much empathy because I see this all the time. So first, before we dive in, I want to define what no results actually is. So when you say no results, what do you actually mean by that? Does that mean you're not experiencing viral growth? You haven't hit 10K downloads yet? You don't have any sponsorships? Or do you mean you don't have any leads or inquiries or conversions? Because those are two very different conversations. A podcast does not exist to inflate your ego. It exists to drive alignment. And if you've been focused on download numbers instead of conversion points, then you might be measuring the wrong thing. The second thing is consistency alone is not a strategy. So you've probably told yourself, I've been consistent with posting. I haven't missed a single week. And that's amazing, truly. But consistency without direction is just repetition. You can publish 26 episodes in 6 months, but if those episodes aren't clear, strategic, problem-aware, call to action driven, and positioned to attract buyers, then you're essentially just journaling into a microphone. Consistency is step 1, whereas strategy is step 2. And most podcasters never move past that step 1. The third thing is your podcast might be too broad. And this is the part that no one wants to hear. If your show's about entrepreneurship, mindset, motherhood, or business tips, you're competing with thousands of other shows. Specificity converts. While vagueness attracts browsers. So when someone lands on your show, they should immediately think, oh, this show is for me, not, oh, this is interesting, because interesting doesn't pay the bills. Relevance does. The fourth thing is that you might be avoiding the selling part. So I want you to be honest. Are you actually selling on your show, or are you just hoping that they know what to do next? Are you clearly saying who you help, what you offer, how to work with you, and what problem you solve on every single episode? Or are you giving value and then whispering a soft, oh, there's a link in the show notes at the end of the episode? Your listeners are not mind readers, and especially as busy moms, they are very distracted. You have to confidently repeat your offer in every episode, not aggressively, but clearly. The fifth thing is that you might be talking to the wrong stage of buyer, and this one is huge. So if you sell high-ticket services, but all your episodes are beginner surface-level content, then you're going to be attracting DIY listeners, not buyers. Your content should agitate the problem, elevate the stakes, show the gaps, reveal the complexity, and then position your solution. If everything sounds easy and simple, then why would they invest? And the final thing is, it just might be too soon. So let's bring some calm into this conversation. 6 months in podcasting is pretty early, especially if you started from scratch. You don't really have like a built-in audience. You weren't repurposing content, and you weren't leveraging guesting, and you weren't optimizing for search. Podcasting compounds. It's not social media. It is a much longer game. But here's the difference. Long game does not mean passive game. So the hard question here is, instead of asking, why isn't this working? I want you to ask, is this built to work? Is your show clear in positioning, SEO optimized, structured intentionally, designed to funnel, built around a signature method and focused on buyer psychology? Or is it built on vibes? There's a big difference there. So you may be wondering, what do I do next? So if you've been at this 6+ months and you're not seeing any traction, here's what I would do. I would audit your positioning, audit your titles, audit your calls to action, and audit whether your content aligns with your offer. And then from there, I want you to pick one strategic lever to improve. Not everything, just one thing, because momentum builds from clarity. And please hear me when I say this. It does not mean that you're bad at podcasting. It does not mean that you should quit. It just means that you need refinement. Most podcasts don't fail because they're bad. They fade because they never evolved. And evolution is a big part of business, especially as a mom who's building in part-time hours. You don't need to burn it all down. You just need to tighten it up. And if you want help auditing your podcast and figuring out where the disconnect is, I have a couple options for you. So if you want to DIY, but do it strategically, you can grab the Podcast Growth Blueprint by going to podcastingformom.co/blueprint. Or if you want eyes on your show and a strategic plan, you can book a podcast audit where I walk you through how to improve your show and what changes to make to start showing up in the search results and start getting found by more of your ideal people. And if you're at the point where you're ready to fully outsource and scale your show, I do also offer done-for-you podcast strategy and management, and all that is going to be linked below in the show notes. Just know, you don't need more episodes, you just need a smarter structure, and that is fixable. All right, friend, if this episode hit a little too close to home, then I want you to send it to another mom podcaster who needs to hear it. I will see you next week. Thank you for tuning into Podcasting for Moms. I hope today's episode gave you the tools and inspiration you need to make your podcast work smarter, not harder. If you love what you heard, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. It means the world and helps other moms in business find the show. For more tips, resources, and support, head to podcastingformoms.co. Remember, you're not just building a podcast, you're building your legacy. Until next time, friends.